Hello! We'll pick up the analysis where we left off. This is the last part. Next up are the blueprints for all the items and outfits in the game. Blueprints have a set percentage chance to drop from enemies and can be used to unlock the various weapons, skills, outfits, mutations, etc. by taking them to the collector NPC along with cells. There are also blueprints that can only be obtained by performing certain challenges within the biomes, and some of them are unlocked with daily challenges. An easy way to get some of them is to unlock the Specialist Showroom upgrade and farm the blueprints with the Hunter's Grenade available in said room. The Hunter's Grenade takes up one of your skill slots, but it allows you to turn an enemy who has a blueprint you are missing into an elite. Then the blueprint extractor will fall to the ground. When the enemy has 40% or less health, you can use the blueprint extractor. Once you do, one of the blueprints that the enemy has to offer will appear, and the enemy will die. If you have the Hunter's Grenade on you, it will show a symbol above the head of enemies who have a blueprint that you don't yet have. You can also use the Hunter's Mirror to find out which enemies still have blueprints. Keep in mind that some blueprints will only drop at higher boss cell levels. In addition, you can use the 5vc difficulty to farm blueprints, since some enemies randomly spawn around you, enemies that you normally can't find in the first biome, and the Hunter's Grenade works with them. I also want to mention aspects. These are optional perks that you can choose at the start of a run. In addition, you can only have one aspect active at a time. They are unlocked every time you die, up to a maximum of 13 aspects. Note that equipping an aspect will prevent the player from getting any more boss cells, and will also prevent flawless boss achievements from being unlocked. I'll talk about this later. Next up are the runes, which are pretty easy to get. These will unlock special abilities or modes, and they can be found in certain specific biomes. For example, you can find the Spider Rune in the Slumbering Sanctuary after defeating an elite caster. The Spider Rune allows you to wall jump, or the Customization Rune in the Ramparts after killing an elite Under Archer or elite zombie. This rune unlocks custom mode. Then there is the Blacksmith's Legendary Forge, found in the biome passages after the Black Bridge, Insufferable Crypt, Nest, Clock Room, Mausoleum, Guardian's Haven and Lighthouse. In the Forge you can spend cells to increase the chances of getting higher quality gear in your runs. It takes thousands of cells to max out the Forge. Also, the number of cells you can spend in the Forge changes based on your current boss cell level. Finally, there are the 108 achievements. 6 of them are only available for the PC and Nintendo Switch versions, and there is a final trophy for completing all the achievements in the PlayStation 4 version. You can track them at the Scribe NPC that appears in the Prisoner's Quarters. Achievements can mainly be divided into 3 categories. First, there are the miscellaneous achievements, which you can get by doing certain specific activities like Not So Tough, defeat 100 elite enemies, or Never Fallen, beat the game with the YOLO mutation in your possession. Then there are the first time achievements, which you acquire by beating a boss, visiting a biome, unlocking or beating the game in a specific boss cell, or getting runes for the first time. And finally, there are the flawless boss achievements, for which you need to kill the bosses without taking any damage. Note that there currently is an alpha version of Dead Cells version 3.1 in which a boss rush mode was implemented into the game. The maximum boss rush tier is tier 4, in which you'll be fighting 5 bosses back to back with some really crazy variations like double concierge and a giant with 4 arms instead of 2. Well, that's all for this video. I'll say goodbye with what I think is a greeting I learned from humans.